Welcome back to the Crypto's Key Conversation. We're going to quickly jump into CoinGecko here. We're currently sitting at a $1.86 trillion market cap, currently up 1.5%. Coming here looking at the top 10, Bitcoin sitting at 38,712, Ethereum sitting at 2,783, Tether is Tether, Binance Coin sitting at 385, Solana sitting at 111, Cardano sitting at $1.08, XRP sitting at 62, almost 63 cents. Polkadot sitting at 1978 and Terra sitting at 5207. So as you can see, we're seeing a lot of green as of today. You know, small gains here and there. Let's kind of see what we have here in the biggest gainers of 24-hour period. Solana's up there. We got a 17% with looks rare and so on. Coming over here to the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, we're currently sitting at a 26. So obviously yesterday we were as low as a 20. So now we're in the fear range and not as far down in the extreme fear range. But as you can tell, we've been in this range for months now. So looks like we're having some upside, which is a positive for our market. What I wanted to do here is start with this by Jason Foster. And we had a conversation about Empower Oversight kind of stepping up when it comes to the Freedom of Information Act and how they're kind of coming after the SEC based on their conflicts of interest and them kind of suppressing and redacting vital information for the public. And, you know, and it's important for, you know, Johnny Deet in a class action lawsuit and Ripple versus SEC case on Ripple's side. So it says, Jason Foster says, the SEC claimed it found no records, but did not describe its search methods. Following a call last week with the SEC, it became clear that the scope of its search was too narrow. So here's a new Freedom of Information Act request to uncover exactly what the SEC did before claiming no records exist. So here goes the request here, but Empower Oversight, which we covered in a previous video, it says, Empower Oversight appeals the SEC's claim of no responsive records on cryptocurrency FOIA, so Freedom of Information Act. It says, Empower Oversight filed a new request with the SEC seeking documents that would show how it searched for records related to alleged crypto conflicts of interest before claiming that no responsive record existed. So this is massive. Keep stepping on them, keep applying that pressure and servicing, you know, the conflicts of interest and just the shadiness that's been happening in the background with the SEC. Stefan Huber had kind of responded to this tweet and said, this is why Ripple is so effective in the request for documents. They have sources who know of the existence and contents of these documents. The SEC can't just deny their existence or alter them, which they do this in the case. He also says, there has to be an independent investigation of the agency. The SEC is hiding something, and I'm willing to bet you that it's so much more than just conflicts of interest. So, quite honestly, based on the information we've been given, per this case, Johnny Deaton's class action lawsuit information, and what we've been seeing in the Twitterverse, I mean, quite honestly, who knows? What's really, what are the skeletons in the SEC closet? Clearly they're not trying to protect the investors that they're so-called set out to protect. They're protecting themselves, and they're protecting somebody else. Who are all those members within that 63 email list? Like who's all those members that's been a part of all these meetings, these secret meetings that's been happening? And when it comes to the William Hinman Ethereum Free Pass speech and just the Ethereum Free Pass in general, who are all the the parties involved with that whole narrative and that whole movement? Who tried to slam the door on everything outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum? Those are the people that we need to get their information surfaced so we can know what was their plan behind all this. And when it comes to that conflict of interest and that that negative outcome and that negative narrative trying to really slam the door in everybody else's face, we need to keep applying that pressure like Empower Oversight is doing, digital asset investor Johnny Deaton, and keep surfacing the truth, because truly, we as investors into Ripple and XRP and other digital assets that aren't a part of this Ethereum Free Pass speech and this Ethereum Free Pass in general, we are on the right side of the law, on the right side of history. So we just want the truth. So there's a level playing field. So, there isn't, picking winners or losers when it comes to the digital asset space, because it's only going to hinder and hurt, and stifle the innovation and growth within our market. So coming over here, the digital asset investors respond to Richard Levin, who kind of has his input and opinion on, the SEC being attacked, as he says, or the wrath that's coming at the SEC. What he fails to notice is the SEC brought it upon themselves. So he's responding off of this. It says, the implications that the SEC acted illegally is out of bounds and inappropriate, said Richard Levin, partner and chair of the fintech and regulation practice of law firm Nelson Mullins, Riley, and Scarborough. Levin likened the SEC to a football referee applying on the rulebook. Attacks on the SEC are unwarranted, he said in an interview with Forecast. They have a job to do. Yeah, protect the investors and do as they say. Protect the investors. Don't hurt the investors. Don't drop a lawsuit. Out of your own personal vendetta or your personal, you trying to pick winners and losers. Do the right thing. Create a level playing field and have a reason to why you drop a lawsuit. Days before Christmas in 2020 on the so-called investors you're set out to protect. Completely liquidating and costing those investors billions and billions of dollars. Digital asset investor says, what really irritates me about this is the snobbery we've observed by the elite DC attorney community towards John Deaton. These people hold us all average people in contempt. The feds aren't supposed to talk back. So, I am so glad that we have the community that we have, because we're not given any leeway. We're constantly keeping our foot on that pedal, keeping the foot on their throats, and literally just surfacing the truth, surfacing their contradictions in their own words, them on video footage, just exposing them for their mockery and their snobbery. And that's just the reality of what it is. We're on the right side of law, on the right side of history. We have the truth on our side. So I'm glad that we have people like Digital Asset Investor, Johnny Deaton, and all the parties involved that's, really been putting out the information and keeping the community aware and up to date. So we can bring the fight to the SEC and all the parties behind that so-called Ethereum free pass. So coming over here, some positives, but we talked about the importance of the Ripple versus SEC case, and what would the outcome be like if the SEC won versus the outcome if Ripple won. So this article by the Wall Street Journal is talking about Ripple's legal brawl with the SEC could help settle when the cryptocurrencies are securities. An SEC win would boost its case to regulate much of the crypto market, while a loss would reinforce calls for clearer laws. So simply put, just like we talked about, if the SEC wins, all it does is give them more powers to overregulate and overdominate the space, which only is going to hurt and hinder this space's innovation growth. And that can't happen. Now, on the other side, if Ripple wins, it gives the SEC less power. It gives the space the clarity that it needs, the fair clarity that it needs. So if you think that your project or your platform is safe and you really can care less if, Ripple wins or loses this case, you're sadly mistaken. If the SEC wins, believe it, they're coming after everybody. They're already doing it as we speak. So if they win, they're only going to have more power to come after everybody, because there is no clear rules or clear guidance when it comes to the market. So this case is truly going to set precedents for our entire space. And us as Ripple and XRP investors, I'm a heavy investor in crypto market in general, but heavily invested in XRP. We don't want just, Ripple and XRP to be successful. We don't want to hurt, Ethereum or Bitcoin or any other project. We want the health and wellness of the entire space. And I truly believe that us as a community in general need to come together and really bring the fight to the SEC and stand up for what's right. Stand on the side of truth, because we know the writing's on the wall and that the crypto market is the future. So another positive here, we have Modular and Ripple announced strategic partnership to enable seamless payments into the UK and Europe. So coming down here, it says, together the two leading fintechs will make it easier than ever for business like trust payments to run real-time payments internationally, powered by Ripple's financial technology, RippleNet. With Modular's technology, global business have an alternative to legacy correspondent banking and can now make payments in the UK and Europe faster, more reliable, and cost-effective. Massive. That's just more positive. This is happening all the time when it comes to RippleNet, Ripple, XRP. It's just a reality. They're just constantly building out, regardless of this whole SEC versus Ripple stuff. Over here, this is extremely important. So we talked a lot about John E. Deaton's impact on not just the XRP and Ripple community, but the entire crypto market. So it says, this is from Forecast. Non-U.S. XRP investor petition for congressional investigation of SEC. Lawyer for 63,000 XRP investor invites non-U.S. investors to demand a congressional investigation of the SEC for impropriety. So coming down here, it says, the petition on change.org was begun January 19th by attorney John Deaton to give a voice to non-U.S. investors of the XRP token. The petition states that foreign investors in XRP were grievously harmed rather than protected by the agency when the SEC sued Ripple Labs in December 2020 for allegedly selling XRP as an unregistered security. The international holders weren't having their voice heard, and it's frustrating, said Deaton in the interview. They've been frustrated because of the impact that the United States has had on them. And so it really is a way for them to make sure their voice is heard. So this gentleman right here stepping out of the box, stepping out of comfort zone, and really stepping up for the entire space. It's not just about XRP investors, Ripple investors. It's about the entire space. It's about the truth and what's right and fairness. Absolutely massive gentleman here, and we really appreciate you, John Deaton. So coming over here, he says this video has been viewed 200,000 or 228,000 times, but we need it seen 500,000 times. Senator Jack Reed, you are on the Financial Services Committee, and I'm bringing tens of thousands of people with me to ask you to ask for an investigation. So I liked and retweeted this. We played this video in previous videos, but this movement that Johnny Deaton has truly, stepped up and front ran and generally bringing this big giant snowball effect and just getting ready to drop it on the SEC in the wrongdoing that's going on within this Ripple versus SEC case. So with this class action lawsuit and all the other, resources that he has available with his crypto law US stuff, this is absolutely massive. So what I want you to do, if you're not involved and you want to get involved, make sure you go to our Crypto Law US and get involved, whether that's, sending those letters to your congressmen and women and getting involved in the class action lawsuit, whether you're in the States or not. Get involved the best way you can. Even if that's liking and retweeting, all this stuff makes a huge impact for, this narrative and this agenda that Johnny Deaton in the class action lawsuit is trying to get going here. But with all that being said, I just kind of wanted to give my take on what's going on. There's still a lot of positives within our market, even, when we've been in this extreme fear and fear range for some time. I have high conviction on the space. I have high conviction for our future with cryptocurrency. With all that being said, stay strong out there. Be safe.